Welcome back to my channel Tech Teacher Shruti. In last video we have seen about J tabbed pane and J scroll pane. In this video we are going to see about J list. In Swing, the basic list class is called as J list and it supports the selection of one or more items from the list. It provides the several constructors. One among we used is JList that takes the argument that is list of items of the array of items of type object. This creates the JList that contains the items in the array specified by the items. Those are all are of type object. Most of the time you will wrap the J list inside the scroll pane. This way long lists will automatically be scrollable and which simplifies the GUI design. It also makes it easy to change the number of entries in the list without having to change the size of J list component. A J list generates a list selection event when the user makes or changes a selection. This event is also generated when user deselects an item. It means JList generates two times the list selection event, when we select an item from the JList and when we will deselect an item from the JList. It is handled by implementing a list selection listener. This listener specifies only one method, that is value changed, which is taking a list selection event as an object. Okay, and both the list selection event and list selection listeners are available in javax.swing.star package. And the following method, that is a get selected index method, is used to get the index of the selected items. What it will return? It will return the index of a selected item, and always indexing begins with a 0, and if the first item is selected, this method will return a 0. If no item is selected, the -1 is written. Okay. See, this is the example for JList. Okay, we are selecting multiple items from the JList and it is displaying our selection. Okay, this JList creating a list selection event that is handled by list selection listener. Instead of obtaining the index of the selection, you can obtain the value associated with that selection by calling the get selected value method. It returns the reference to the first selected value. If no value has been selected, it returns the null. This is example for demo JList. Okay, here we are importing javax.swing package. Next, we are importing javax.swing.event.star package. Why? Because we are handling a list selection event here that is defined in javax.swing.event.star package, and we are using a flow layout here, so we need to import java.awt.star package. As we are writing a applet program, we need to import this line of code in the program. I am writing demo JList class and extending a JApplet. Initially I am initializing a JList, JLabel and JScroll pane. Next I am creating the array of cities. Okay, this is the array of cities. It means list of cities. Okay, next I am writing a init method. In that init method I am calling a make GUI method. Make GUI method, first I am setting a layout manager to flow layout, which is a default one. Next I am creating a J list. For that J list I am passing a cities array. Okay, here this cities array is treated as array of objects. Next I am setting the selection mode of J list, that is a single selection, means at a time only one item we can select from that J list. Okay, that setting we will do by using a set selection mode. Okay, we are setting a selection mode to single selection. We are using a selection model, that is a single selection. Okay, and we are creating a J scroll pane. For that J scroll pane we are setting a preferred size by using a dimension object. Okay, by using a dimension object we are setting a preferred size for the J scroll pane here. Next I am creating one J label, that is initially choose city. Okay, when I will click on city, it will display the current selection of from the J list. Here when I will click on a item or I will click on city in a J list, it will create a list selection event. Okay, so we need to handle that list selection event. To handle that I am writing a anonymous class here. Okay, anonymous class. First I am registering the J list with the list selection listener. Next, if we are using list selection listener interface, so we need to override the value changed method. Okay, value changed method. Next I am getting a selected value from the J list. Okay, get selected value means I am getting the which item or which city is selected in the J list. Okay, that is of type object. So I am creating a S object. I am storing that value in this object. Okay, suppose I chosen a city. New York. Okay, that New York city is stored in a object S. Okay, next I am setting a J label text to the current selection S, means current selection New York. It will display. Next I am adding J scroll pane to the content pane of the applet viewer, and we are adding J label to the content pane of the applet viewer. Okay, this is how the J list will going to work. Now I will run that. See here. This is the J list. Initially the label is displaying choose a city. I will click on New York. It will display current selection New York. Means by using a get selected value method I will get this value. Okay, these all are treated as a objects here. Okay, this is how demo J list is going to work. Next we will see J combo box. Okay, J combo box. Swing provides a combo box, that is a combination of text field and drop down list through the J combo box class. J combo box means it is a combination of J text field and drop down list. Just we can use a drop down list itself. Okay, otherwise we can use this combo box along with the text field. A combo box normally displays one entry, but it also displays a drop down list that allows user to select a different entry. We can also create a combo box that lets the user enter a selection into the text field. Okay, suppose one text field is there with a J combo box. When I will enter some item, particular item which is present in a J list in a text field, that item is selected from the J combo box. Okay, and we have used a basic J combo box constructor which accepts the items, okay, array of items of type objects, okay, of type objects. See here, this is the J combo box. Without text field, the J combo box is defined here. If I click on Java, it will display Java there. Initially the C was there. Now C++. Okay, this is the example for J combo box. A drop down list is there. When I will click on this arrow mark, the drop down list will display here. Passing an array of items to be displayed in the drop down list, items can be dynamically added to the list of choices via the add item method. Okay, in previous example we have added only 4 languages: C, C++, Java and PHP. Okay, suppose I need to add J2EE here. Okay, it is possible to add that J2EE item by using a add item method. Okay, and here object is treated as J2EE. Okay, obj is the object to be added to the combo box. Means J2EE is treated as an object. We will add that to the combo box by using a method add item. J combo box generates an action event when the user selects an item from the list, and it also generates an item event when the state of selection changes, which occurs when an item is selected or deselected. Okay, when action event is generated when user selects an item from the list. When item event is generated when the selection changes to selected to deselected or deselected to selected. Item selected in the list is obtained by using a method get selected item. Okay, on the combo box we will get which item is selected in the combo box. That item we will get by using a get selected item. Those all are treated as objects, so the return type of this method is object. You will need to cast the returned value into type of object stored in the list. Okay, sometimes it is in the form of string, so we need to convert that to in the form of object. One way to obtain the item selected in the list is to call get selected index on the combo box. Instead of item we can get index of that item also, selected item also. So for that we will use a get selected index. We will see the example in Eclipse. See here, this is the J combo box example. Here we are handling the action event, so we are importing this java.awt.event.star package. As we are using a flow layout, we are importing java.awt.star package, and we are using JApplet, JLabel and J combo box. We are importing a javax.swing package. We are writing a applet class, so we need to import this line of code here. I am writing demo J combo box which is extending JApplet. Initially I am initializing a JLabel. I am creating a string of flags, a string array of flags. Next I am writing a init method. In that init method I am calling a makeGUI method. In makeGUI method, first I am setting the layout manager to flow layout, which is a default one. Next I am creating a I am initializing a J combo box and I am creating a J combo box. For that I am passing a array of flags here. Okay, these are the flags arrays in the form of string. Okay, next we are adding that J combo box to the content pane of the applet viewer. We are creating one more text field component here and I am adding that text field to the content pane of the applet. Okay, as when item is selected here in the J combo box, it creates the action event. Okay, to handle that we are writing a anonymous class here. Okay, we are writing anonymous class. I am registering this J combo box with the action listener. Okay, as we are implementing a action listener here, we need to call or we need to override action performed method. Okay, and in string data we are getting a which item is selected from the combo box. Okay, list of flags is there. Suppose I selected the India. Okay, it will first from J combo box I am getting the selected index. Okay, which item I selected now, that selected item index I am getting here. Next I am getting a which item is stored at that index, that item I am getting here. Okay, I am appending a string here because these all are in the form of object. So if I append a string, it will also become a string. So that is stored in a data and that data we are setting to the J text field. Okay, the text of J text field we are setting that data. This is how the J combo box will work. Now we will see the output. See here, this is the J combo box. Initially it is displaying a France. Why? Because in array the France is the first element. I selected Germany, it will display Germany here. Okay, it is at the index 1. First I will get the selected item index. At that one index which item is there? Germany is there. That will store in a data and in text field that data is displaying here. Next we will see J table. Okay, J table. J table is a component that displays the rows and columns of data. J table is conceptually simple. It is component that consists of one or more columns of information. At the top of each column the heading will be there and it does not provide any scrolling capabilities of its own. Okay, instead of you will normally wrap that J table inside a J scroll pane. Then it's very easy to get the vertical scroll bar and horizontal scroll bar automatically. It is very easy to add the items into J table. It dynamically increases the vertical scroll bars and horizontal scroll bars as table size is becoming bigger. That will help you to, the J scroll pane will help us to do that. Okay, and J table constructor takes two arguments, that is object data and object column heads. Means column heading it will take and whatever the data we want to store in that column, that it will take, and those all are of type object and it creates the two-dimensional array. Okay, here there are the steps required to set up a simple J table that can be used to display the data. First we need to create the instance of JTable. Next we need to create a JScrollPane object specifying the table as object to scroll. Means we need to pass that JTable to the JScrollPane while creating that. Next we need to add that table to the scroll pane. Add the scroll pane to the content pane of the applet viewer. We will see, this is one example. Okay. This is the column heading, rank, name, country and rating. These are the column headings and these are column data. Okay. We will see this in a Eclipse. See here, we are importing java.awt.star package 5 because we are using a flow layout here. No layout. Okay, wait. I think it is not necessary. Okay, that is not necessary. Why? Because we are not using any flow layout managers here. Next we are importing javax.swing.star package. Why? Because we are using a JApplet. Next JTable we are using here. Okay. Next we are writing a applet class. So we need to import this line. We need to write this line of code, and I am writing a class demo JTable which is extending a JApplet. Next I am writing a init method. In that init method I am calling makeGUI method. In makeGUI method I am writing, initially I am creating a column headings. Okay. I am declaring a string array. The name of that string array is column heads. The column headings are name, extension and ID. Next we are initializing the data for these column headings. Okay, this data is of type object array, two-dimensional array. The name is Gale here, extension is 4567, ID is 865. Like that we have created the data for the columns. Okay. Next we are creating a table here. For that table I am passing data and column headings. Okay. The data and column headings I am passing to the JTable. Next I am adding that table to the JScrollPane. I am creating a JScrollPane and I am passing that table to the that JScrollPane. Next I am adding that JScrollPane to the content pane of the applet viewer. This is the simple way to create the JTable in the Swing. We will see the output. See, the table is little bit bigger, so the JScrollPane is added vertical scroll bar. I will decrease the size here. It will add no horizontal scroll bar. Why? Because only 3 columns we have. Okay. As the table size or number of data entries are bigger, so it is adding only vertical scroll bar. Okay, this is the JTable. How we will create a JTable in a demonstration of how we will create a JTable in a Swing. Thank you.